Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel, Capri Social Network. So, at today's video, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about what's trending according to the Hollywood slash celebrity news. And it's about Draya Michele because some of you, specifically some of you women, know of her on behalf of being a former member of the show Basketball Wives of LA and rising to prominence dating R&B singer and phenomenon Chris Brown. Well, it just so happens Miss Draya Michele happens to be dating a guy that's around a good 17 years her junior by the name of Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown, folks, happens to be an NBA star who currently is playing for the Houston Rockets. And his current contract for the 2023 to 24 season is worth over $9 million. Now, I can't help but to wonder, what is a woman of her age who just turned 39 years old almost 2 months ago doing selling for a guy that young? With that being said, he happens to also be the same exact age, literally, as her son Nico Howard Jr., who happens to be 22 years old, just like her current boyfriend Jalen Green. And this also goes to show you, ladies and gentlemen, of how when the older some women get, and when they realize they have hit the wall, that their sexual value has decreased, because it's a well-known fact that with the more older us men get, the more we age like milk, the more our sexual value usually increases. But with the more older women usually get, on the other hand, their sexual value usually plummets, usually decreases, and they age like milk, as opposed to us men. With the more older we get, we age like wine. And this also goes to show you how insecure older women get once they hit, especially once they hit the age of 30, if not 30, is especially 35, no older than 35, and they realize they are running out of options for the most part. These usually come in the form of women that usually have teenage children, either a teenage boy or a teenage girl. In some instances, and especially at the age of 35, who may have grown kids. Case in point, such as Draya Michele, because Draya Michele happened to have her son Nico Howard Jr. at the age of 17, back when she was still in high school or high school age. And it just also goes to show the double standard between a man dating a much older woman, because you see that all the time. I'm just calling a spade of older men dating much younger women and having kids, impregnating much younger women without it being hardly anything said about it, without hardly anybody raising an eyebrow about it. Because we could do that due to how, like I said, and I know a lot of you ladies don't want to hear this. For some of you that are in your feelings about it and feel like you could be able to get away with what a man does, which you can't. Once again, and I will not quit stressing it, us men are usually more of, we usually gain more higher value with the more age, the more up in age we get, more sexual value. We become more attractive and appealing to women, especially when we're older men with a lot of investments, where they may be in the housing market, if not that, usually a golf course. I'm just giving a few examples. Or we may happen to have our own champagne line, if not that, use our own clothing line, or if not that, use an upscale car lot when nothing but luxury cars. Just a few instances. A house that's usually upwards to $1 million, especially if we're a man of that caliber with no kids at all, we even have more options to choose from practically any woman that we desire. Due to, once again, how the majority of us men don't age like a lot of you women. Because with the more older you get, women, on the other hand, you have less options to pick in the dating market, and you happen to become more or less attractive with the much more older you get. Like I said, this brings reference once again to how us men age like wine, but you females, on the other hand, usually age like milk. Just accept it, whether you want to or not. And this is one reason why I had to make this video, because if I had a son that was around Jalen Green's age that was dating a much older woman by the likes of Draya Michele's age, I wouldn't approve of it at all. Because the first thing I'll be thinking of was how she would be much more older to date me. And I would look at that as being her being a sexual predator, and she is, as opposed to a man dating, let it that be a man, on the other hand, being Draya Michelle's age of 39 years old dating a 22-year-old woman. He would get his props. And with that being said, let me show you some of the comments. Once again, these comments are on behalf of Instagram, or how some people have been going in on Draya Michele as a result of her currently being pregnant by a 22-year-old man. Once again, a man who is the same exact age as one of her sons, who, excuse me, once again, who names has to be Nico Howard Jr. Someone said, and this is once again, folks, on Instagram, you see the caption right here: "Congrats, Draya Michele reveals she's pregnant with a baby girl." And her showing, you can see her belly as confirmation. As a 23-year-old who would even date a 22-year-old, I'm very, hold on. I forgot. My apologies, folks, for how I forgot to share my screen. Now, as a 23-year-old who wouldn't even date someone commented, a 22-year-old, I'm very intrigued in what she sees in him as a 40-year-old woman. So let me check some other comments. That boy, mom pissed. Somebody else said straight stellar. When I'm laughing and crying face at the same time. Somebody else said, mothers protect your sons by any means necessary. You got to also protect them from themselves. Shake my damn head. She's 22-year-old. Someone else said, well, excuse me, let me read it again. She's 39 with a 22-year-old baby daddy, while I'm 32 and I could never mess with a 22-year-old. Don't care how much money he got. She weird as hell for this. I agree. I truly agree. And somebody else said, this how we end up with 3-year-old uncles and we be 22 years old because grandma had a baby the same time her son had a baby. These are just a few comments I wanted to read to y'all. Now, she had the nerve to write on Instagram, happy hashtag International Women's Day. As women, we navigate through so much, often leading us to question, what is my purpose? For me, the magic lies in motherhood and awe-inspiring ability to bring life into this world over the span of 2 decades. It's my superpower. And if anything can surpass the wonder of being a woman, it's the privilege of bringing another woman into existence. We are overjoyed to share our love for you, little girl. I'm I am instead of writing or typing I am, she wrote I apostrophe am. She should have spell checked that because this doesn't make any sense. Anyway, excited to speak words to the daughter I never thought I had. We are anxious about your arrival, but take your time. This world can be tough, but know you are being brought into a space of love, security, and adornment. Hashtag 28 weeks, hashtag 7 months, hashtag coming May 2024. So that's just a few weeks away. Hashtag girl mom. So I'm going to stop sharing this. And I also wanted to show you how many other men she's dated prior to dating Jalen Rose, because she gets around. Now let me share my screen again. She's a fairly attractive woman, and I can tell she exercises a lot to be her age and to have had over 2 or 3 kids prior to becoming pregnant by her current boyfriend, Jalen Green. Excuse me, folks. Deshaun Stevenson. I kind of remember Deshaun Stevenson, who is a former NBA player, happens to be one of her former boyfriends. Gilbert Arenas. I remember Gilbert Arenas as well. I remember him quite well. For the most part, during his tenure playing with the Washington Wizards. Chris Brown, from 2009 to 2010. Wiz Khalifa, 2010. Orlando Scandrick, and she also happened to have a kid by Mr. Orlando Scandrick, who happens to be a current NFL player and commentator / analyst, and happened to have a son with him named Drew. I guess that's how you announce it, J-R-U. Tyrod Taylor, as you see in the photo, and happens to be an NFL quarterback who she started dating in 2020. So that wasn't that long ago, prior to meeting her current boyfriend, Jalen Green. And it's saying, the article, that the relationship came to an end last year in 2023. Jalen Green, 2023 present. There you see him in his Houston Rockets uniform. Excuse me, some of you may have noticed me burping just then. Anyway, the couple has been romantically linked since August 2023, and Draya is also rumored to be carrying the the player's child. Their relationship has garnered its fair share of controversy as their 18-year age gap has become a topic of concern. If I'm not mistaken, that's more so 20. If she's 39 years old, he just became 22. That's more of a 17-year age gap. Yeah. If I'm doing the math right, that's more so of a 17, 18-year age gap. Because I think at first I said that it's a little bit bigger, the age gap, early in the video, if I can recall. If so, I do apologize. So I'm going to stop sharing this, and I'm going to show you some more clips of the two of them. Now this is Jalen Green's contract right here, saying he's worth his current contract for the 2023 to 2024 NBA season is worth $9.8 million. According to Sport Track, he signed a 4-year rookie contract with the Houston Rockets worth $40.8 million, an average annual salary of $10.2 million. So I'm going to show you some pictures of him and Draya Michele while dating. Of course, courtesy of Google / Microsoft Bing. This right here happens to be pretty current. She ought to be ashamed of herself, being with a man that's literally the same exact age as her son. And this just goes to show you how some women have serious mental issues as well. Women specifically who usually decide to settle for men that are usually young enough to be their sons. So I'm going to look at some more pictures. To show you how happy she seems to be when a guy that is over 17 years her junior. This right here is a picture of them out and about, which seems to be a picture from maybe sometime around 2023, right before a little bit before her pregnancy. And if you look at the expression on her face, once again, in this photo, she seems to have no shame at all. Doesn't it look like, folks, she's with her son, another guy that could be another one of her kids? Be honest. How does this look? How mentally disturbed does this photo appear to be? Be honest, folks. I mean, some women, this just goes to show you, some women, when the much older they get, have serious mental problems. I mean, like I said, she's a fairly attractive woman, Draya Michele, who should be able to get a man way much older and more closer to her age. Instead, decide to settle for a man, once again, who's young enough for her son. And I can't help but to be bothered by that. I don't care how mad or offended some of you ladies may get. It's wrong on all levels. So I'm going to stop sharing this picture. And show you her son, who happens to be literally the same age as Mr. Jalen Green. Now, this right here happens to be her son, Nico Howard Jr. Of course, this is a picture from some years ago. Let me see if I can find a much recent picture. That picture, that last picture, happens to be from the year 2018. So it's every bit of 6 years old. I put in Nico Howard Jr. 2024. If there's any such pictures that are there recent of him. Anyways, this is another picture of him during his high school graduation day, along with his mother. Once again, this young man has to be the same exact age, was born around the same exact time as Jalen Green, the NBA player who she's dating right now. And I also wanted to show you this as well, of her son, pictures of her son finally making it to college. This is them on a flight, and she wrote on, once again, this is on behalf of Instagram, where it's official. I'm a college mom. I'm so proud of you, son. Left all of these exclamation points which were, I found, so unnecessary. College woo, whatever kind of emoji that's supposed to be. I mean, I knew you make it here. I hope you grow, learn, make new friends here in ATL. Shouty, I love you. Of all the things I've ever done wrong in this life, you were there with me in the struggle always, and you're proof that I did one thing right. That's you. Love you. Got a blast and cry. BRB. Hashtag GSU. Hashtag Panthers. And I'm assuming she's an unfit mother, because look at what somebody commented about her. I thought your mom raised him. In other words, her grandmother raised him. Well, excuse me, folks. His grandmother raised him, which would be her mother. Somebody said she thought raised him. You and Erica Mena have the same thing going on. Somebody else said how embarrassing this picture is as well. So let me share something else with you. Another photo. This is him on behalf of being admitted to Georgia State University, which you see in the background. It happens to be a technical college instead of being an actual college, or a reputable college at that. Don't quote me on it. It just seems in the background that it's more so of a trade school or a technical college. That's him loading up his furniture in his dorm room, from what it seems. Him about to head to the building where his dorm room. So I'm going to stop sharing this. Once again, this is sad, so sad on all levels, and crazy at the same time, of how some women, when the more older they get, how they decide to lower their standards by dating men that are much younger than them, and in some cases young enough to be their sons, and happen to be the same age as some of their children as well. A case in point being Draya Michele's pregnancy, on behalf of her being pregnant by her current boyfriend, Jalen Green, who happens to currently play for the Houston Rockets. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Also, make sure you smash the like button. You share this video. Last but not least, you subscribe to the channel. Till next time, you guys have a good one.